Hey there, welcome to day 1600 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business and back and forth in 2020 and beyond. So lots of business topics, but also sharing some of the content that I create. I create content daily. I've done it for about 5 years now, which is crazy to think about. And I do it because I've created a system for myself. It's not an automated system. It's a manual system that I use, but to create a piece of content for my Supersize Your Business, mostly for entrepreneurial women and business women, as well as my annual challenge. This is the 5th year in a row that I've done an annual challenge online. I've done challenges and annual challenges for decades, but I started doing them online when I went from the offline to the online world in 2017. But I don't think I started until 2018, 18, 19, 22, yep, 22. So in 2018, I started doing everyday videos with respect to an annual challenge. And I did it because I was scared to death to do video and I didn't want to do videos at all. And it just has become a habit. And it's just kind of, pick the camera up. What you see is what you get. and go. I have got a topic and then I talk about that topic. Usually the night before I've done a few things to take notes and have an outline of things that I can talk about. But a lot of times I don't follow my notes at all because I get off on another tangent or I slept on it and I come up with another idea that I want to share. So today we're focusing on relationships with the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge. So our relationship topics, we just came off of applying the SOAP framework to a specific relationship that we wanted to improve. So I picked a friendship with a specific friend that I have that we really lost touch during the pandemic and for the last couple of years. And instead of being more in touch in remote ways, I was actually less in touch with my personal friends because we didn't have an opportunity to go out and have a glass of wine or go have appetizers or get some hors d'oeuvres and things that we were used to doing. Like every month at least we would get together, and we stopped doing that during COVID and just haven't really picked it up again, which makes me super sad, which is why I picked that relationship. And then our topic today was, it's safe to look within, or why do we want to look within? Number one, I shared 20 reasons, really 10, 2 lists of 10, but there's a little overlapping, but there also are some differences that I think are important. So I shared both the lists of different reasons why we might want to look within ourselves when it comes time to getting better relationships and having better relationships in our life. Any type of relationships, right? Whether it's a work relationship, a friendship, our significant other, whatever the relationship is, relationship with our spouses, our siblings, our kids, whatever, we usually need to look inside, or at least look in the mirror first before we look for any improvement in a relationship. It's up to us to take personal responsibility for the things that we can control, and we can only control ourselves, so we might as well start there. And then I shared 10 different ways that we can begin to look within. And those are things, that the same things that we know all along. Tap in, check in with ourselves every day, breathe, move our bodies, be conscious of some of the thoughts we're having, especially when we're feeling strong emotions. What's going on? Pay attention consciously so we can figure out what's triggering us, either positively or negatively, because we want to trigger ourselves more positively and less often negatively. So I shared some of those things. And our idiom for Supersize Your Business, that's again relationship related, to make my life easier. I'm perfectly honest about that. Hey, I find ways to systematize, automate, and make my life easier whenever possible. And that includes my content creation strategies. So today's idiom was to have a soft spot for someone or something. And it's been around since 1753. I think we all know what it feels like to have a soft spot or a preference or to favor someone or something. And I shared a teddy bear because I love teddy bears. I don't know why, but ever since I was a little kid, I have loved teddy bears. I used to collect them, but as I was raising my family, I realized it was a fun little hobby, but unnecessary. So I sort of stopped doing it, and I just had the bears that I had. And every once in a while, I would have to give in because I saw the most adorable bear, and I would have to get it. And since I was in the bakery industry and had a food in business for 35 years, I obviously have a teddy bear with a baker's cap on that I have not gotten rid of. And so, like my other little trinkets and souvenirs, he sits right up here and keeps me company, keeps an eye on me as I'm doing the things that I'm doing now. So to have a soft spot for someone or something, of course, means to have preference for it. And I basically boiled it down to, I could talk about all these things, but let's say, what really matters when it comes to building and growing and supersizing our business, when it comes to creating that? Well, number one, you got to really care about what you're doing and the people that you serve. Because if you don't really care about whether they get the result that you're promising them or not, that insincerity shows through. People can smell dishonesty and manipulation a mile away, and they're not going to be doing business with you. And so you're not going to supersize and grow your business. Now, it doesn't mean you can't con some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So why would you want to fool anybody anytime? I guess that's my perspective. So you have to really care about people, and you have to make sure that the customer experience, how you make them feel, is how you want them to feel about doing business with you. How do you want people to feel about interacting with you and your business? I want them to feel awesome. I want them to love doing business with us. And so how can I create an experience that will give them that feeling of connection and love, that we really care about them? And that's just my perspective. Maybe you want them to really feel like they got professional, top of the line service. It depends on your product or service and what your branding and what your message and what you want to convey to people is. For me, it's, hey, I really care. I want to make sure you have the best possible experience with us. How can we improve that? So we're always looking for feedback and how we can do a better job serving the people that we serve. But lots of companies aren't that way. They're just in it for the money, and people know it if you're just in it for the money. And if you've got a commodity that everybody needs, that's going to drive price down. If you are a utility or a service provider that has a monopoly, because basically I live in the city and I can only get my internet service from one company. I can only get my trash service from one company. Guess what? It doesn't matter how they treat their customers, how they treat me. I can be upset about it, but it's not going to matter because I have no other choice, which we don't like to be in that position. At least I don't like to be in that position. I like to know that I get to always choose what's right for me. And in some instances, it's just not an option. I could move, right? So there's always options and possibilities. I could move. I could choose to live somewhere differently. But sometimes we just suck it up and deal with it. All right. If I can help you in any way, ask. It's Saturday in my neck of the woods, so I'm going to have an awesome weekend with my family and people I love and care about. But if you've got a burning question and nobody to ask, please ask. Just Voxer me on pajamagrandma@gmail.com or direct message me. I'm pretty easy to find on the internet. All right. Have a great day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.